G'day guys, it's your boy the MMA Bull here, giving you a rundown of our tips and predictions for UFC Fight Night Thiago Santos vs Glover Texeira. So just a quick reminder about what we look for here at the MMA Bull. We're not looking to guess which fighter is going to win, but looking to isolate the least likely outcomes for a fight and short against them provided the markets are providing ample reward relative to risk. We expect the main event to oscillate between a sound cerebral contest and a wild back and forth that could yield too many potential outcomes to warrant speculation. The only position we would be willing to consider is shorting against Santos winning by submission, but the profit potential margins were too slim for us to bother with. However, there are two other fights on the card that we are particularly bullish on. In the co-main event, we have a matchup between veteran heavyweight Andrei Arlovski and dynamic up-and-comer Tanit Bosa. While we don't normally like to short against heavyweight knockouts, we believe Arlovski's sole and unlikely chance at victory against Bosa is on the scorecards. Tanner is too quick, athletic and effective on the inside for the aging former champion, in the MMA Bull's opinion, as well as showing good discipline, head movement and footwork. We will be backing either the fight to go to the distance or Tanner Bosa to win by KO, targeting 11.64% if either outcome happens. The reason we aren't simply backing Bosa is Andrei is a crafty veteran who knows how to take a fight to the distance, and we never like to leave our positions in the hands of MMA judges. The other fight we really like is the strawweight bout between Xiaonan and Claudia Gadelha. The Brazilian typically employs a wearing game plan where she uses her grappling acumen to pick up rounds and grind on her opponents, while having enough grit to stay competitive on the feet should she fail to take her fights to the ground. However, where she has failed to take her formidable striking opponents to the ground, she has typically come up short. Despite having numerous submissions on her record prior to joining the UFC, all but one of Gadalia's 11 UFC fights have gone to decision. Yan is a vicious volume striker who has won each of her 5 fights in the UFC by unanimous decision. The booking against Gadalia is the perfect next test for the Chinese fighter, who has largely fought striking heavy opponents since her debut, where she spent much of the fight getting held against the fence by the far less intimidating Caitlin Curran in the final fight before Curran was cut from the UFC. While Angela Hill also threw in some grappling in her fight with Yan, even trapping her in a triangle that saw Xiaonan saved by the bell at the end of the first, Hill used the grappling exchanges to create the possibility of threats other than her boxing base, while Yan is yet to face a high-level grappler who specialises in that discipline. Yan also has a tendency to get over-aggressive and place herself in what would be dangerous positions in the hands of opponents with a polished submission game. The sole loss on her record notably came by rear naked choke. As such, Gadalia's submission skills could pose a serious threat to Xiaonan's momentum in the UFC. While Yan should win this fight on output, her takedown defense at the higher levels of the division is still yet to be fully tested, and Gadalia is highly skilled at squeaking out decisions over the distance, so we don't want to leave this one in the judge's hands. We do not expect a stoppage to occur unless it is a Gadalia submission, as despite Xiaonan's talent, we think Claudia is too tough and durable to be her first knockout victim in the UFC. Our conservative portfolio will be backing the third round to commence or Gadalia to win by submission in rounds 1 or 2, with a target of 11.80% if either outcome plays out. We typically like to avoid betting against third round stoppages unless there is significant incentive to do so, in case the fighter we are shorting against finds themselves down 2 rounds at the start of the third and starts aggressively seeking a finish. However, we are confident in Claudia's chin, and we feel this fight offers adequate incentive to warrant taking on the risk of the third round, so our aggressive portfolio will target the fight going the distance, hedged against Gadalia by submission, for 18% if either pays. Both portfolios will include the package discussed for the co-main event also. That's all from us today. Hit like and subscribe if you're bullish on the fights with us, play it safe, and we'll see you in the next video.